All right.
Hello.
Welcome back, everyone. This is Lift Talk. My name's Alex Hayes. Joining me, Kelvin Tran.
I'm Kelvin Tran. Hello.
So I guess officially now you're my co-host. So congratulations. Welcome.
We're announcing this live.
Yeah, we're announcing it live. I didn't tell you this.
No. Well, thank you. It's such an honor to be on this podcast.
I figured I needed someone in-house to get consistent content up because it's pretty hard to... it's hard to do solo episodes. I've done a few of them. Very difficult. My mouth always ends up really dry and I need like 1,000 drinks breaks. And two, it's hard to organize guests to actually come in person.
Yeah.
There's so
Some
many,
people don't like talking to you, Alex.
and that's also another thing.
Yeah. So
And you kind of do, so like you're
yeah,
in.
some people
But,
like talking to
like,
me more
there's-
than talking to me.
There's so many guests that I want to have on that I haven't been able to get on because I don't want to do any online podcasts because I think Zoom podcasts suck.
That's fair.
So yeah, we're a bit limited. So Kelvin, you're in.
Well,
welcome.
I'm now in here. I'm here now. Hello.
This is episode 42. It was supposed to be episode 44.
Yeah.
So we've had a bit of a longer break than anticipated.
But it's not our fault, really.
It's not our fault. We're not going to say his name, but the guy behind the computer.
You bullied him enough.
He might yell at me in a second. But no, it's actually not Chris's fault. The last two podcast files were corrupted and the audio sucked.
And they were good episodes.
And
too.
they were good. So
they were good.
Kelvin and I did an episode about holiday training considerations right before the holiday period, which would have been nice
So
and
good.
topical.
So good.
It was a pretty good episode. And then Kelvin and John did one while I was away.
And that
which
was a banger.
Also good. But I think you guys should probably re-record that one.
I think we will, though, because John spoke about a lot of things that I feel like a lot of people don't know about him. So I'm keen to read.
Yeah, I want to know more about John Tran. He's a
bit of a mystery man.
He's a mystery man. He is.
He's a mystery man. Yeah.
So anyway, today we're in 2025. So
We are
happy New Year, everyone!
2025.
Happy holidays and everything. Welcome to 2025. What I wanted to talk about today briefly was New Year's resolutions because it's a kind of a topical thing, you know.
New Year
seasonal.
resolutions.
So, Kel, what do you think about New Year's resolutions? Are you pro
I think
or
that
anti?
Nah, I think if it works for you, it works for you. I'm a very neutral person. If you have your opinions, you can have your opinions. But when it comes to New Year resolutions, I think that if it helps you orient yourself and helps you figure out some goals for the year, I'm all for it. You know, if it can help you sort of work out what you're going to do for the year. But I think that one thing that we could sort of argue against New Year resolutions is it doesn't consider like other variables sometimes. Like someone might say, like, say for example, from a financial point of view, like I want to save 100 grand this year. And it's like, well, how are you going to get there? And what are the variables that are going to impact that sort of outcome? Or like, for example, in the context of powerlifting, I'm going to add 10 kilos to my bench press this year. Or I'm finally going to bench 170, or I'm finally going to bench 180 this year. I think that's, great to sort of set goals. But I think what's even more important, arguably, is the process of getting there and achieving that. But I guess secondary to that is also like, there are going to be variables to consider which will end up impacting the process and the journey to achieve those goals. So overall, I think they're great, but the process and the journey to how you're going to achieve those goals has to be there. What do you think?
I agree, man. I think it comes down to the difference between an outcome-oriented goal or a process-oriented goal, like you said. And I think if we can have an outcome goal, but that not be the actual goal that we search for, like you said, 180 kilo bench. Instead of saying, I'm going to bench 180 this year, think, okay, I want to bench 180 this year. And what are some of the actionable things that I can actually do to achieve 180 kilo bench?
Yeah.
Which might be, I'm going to do all of my bench sets per week, every single week in 2025. And this is going to be finally the year where I actually push my accessories.
Yes.
Or I actually, whatever, I add sets into my tricep work. Or
or I listen to my coach.
Yeah, or I don't overshoot my RPEs.
Yeah.
Or like the things that get you to the goal that you actually want.
Yeah.
Instead of saying like, I'm going to achieve X, say I'm going to do Y thing that will lead me to X.
I guess another way that you could put it is like there's the macro and the micro, right? So you can have your macro goal. using that example of 180 bench, and then your micro goals could be, I want to, like you said, I want to do my accessories. I'm going to actually put effort into every single bench set. Because sometimes you can get a bit lazy with bench.
I'm going to do my rehab. I'm going to eat my protein.
Yeah.
I'm going to, you can break it down a lot further. And I think that gives you something that you can actually tick off that's actually objective.
Yeah. Instead of like just constantly waiting to actually get to that macro level goal. Yeah.
And I think a lot of people will be like, okay, I'm going to bench 180, and then they're going to try and bench 180. And it's like, no, you have to actually follow all of the steps first to get to 180. Like you have to tick off all of these other boxes first.
Yeah, and this ties in nicely to, I guess, like when it does come to powerlifting or any sort of like goal-driven outcomes or sport, that enjoying the journey and finding fulfillment in the journey and attaining those micro goals can help so much in your longevity to your sport, to your career.
Yeah, like you'll never actually bench 180 unless you spend a long time training, unless you actually commit to your training, unless you give it enough.
Bench 180?
I will probably never bench 180.
You reckon?
No, maybe one day, but man, how things are going, it's not happening. It's not happening soon, that's for sure. Yeah, I think that's super important. I think a lot of people like to shit on New Year's resolutions, and that really annoys me because, like, I think that when we have motivation, which often can coincide with the start of the year, or a date like a birthday or like a competition that's coming up, people like to shit on motivation. They like to shit on like New Year's resolutions because of this idea that like, oh, but you could start training for that goal at any point. Like January 1's just a date. Like we always hear that kind of rhetoric.
Yeah.
And like, I hate that because if someone is motivated to do something at any
fucking let them be motivated.
Exactly right. You should harness that motivation. You're not going to be like, oh no, you shouldn't be motivated. You just need to stick to your plan. If they're motivated to do something, like you can throw more training at them.
Yeah.
You can. It might be a really good time to do that diet that you've always been putting off. Might be a really good time to try something that you're actually like willing to put that effort into because you're motivated, and you can get a lot out of that short period of time.
Yeah.
Which can then carry you into that longer like macro period of time. If you tick off that like one really good training block or two really good training blocks, that can snowball into that the rest of that training year.
I was just about to say, like, very similar to what you're going to say, what you said, sorry. By leveraging that period of like motivation, that could be like one of the only times when you actually think deeply about these goals and then develop these like macro level goals to get there. Whereas other times when you are just like, training day by day without that sort of like quick surge of motivation, that's probably not when you're going to be thinking about like the detailed processes of how you're going to achieve that macro goal. So 100% like.
And I think like leaning into periods of time where you are motivated is really, really important because it's going to yield a result because that work that you put in is going to probably be greater than what you would normally put in, right?
Yeah.
And then you know what's the most motivating thing in the world? Seeing that result.
Yes.
And then that
Making
can
progress.
carry you forward into the next thing. Like if you have those 2 blocks of training where everything goes right, ticking every single box, and bang, 10 kilos on your squat.
Yeah.
How do you think you're going to go into that next training block? Like you're going to be like, fucking oath, I just put 10 kilos on my squat. I did all this stuff right. It showed me that, coach is telling me all these things.
Yeah.
And if I do them properly,
and
like,
I'm putting in the
creating
work,
this result.
like it's
I'm
worth
proud
it.
of my efforts
Yeah.
and blah, blah, blah. Like that's self-fulfilling and that
Yes.
spirals into the next
100%.
the next cycle or block or whatever.
I agree. But I think if the fulfillment, if the enjoyment of the journey isn't there to begin with, or enjoyment of the process isn't there to begin with, like you're not going to put as much energy into your training, and that's not going to yield as great of an outcome. So yeah, like finding both, obviously getting to that goal and helping or using it to motivate you more, plus finding enjoyment in the process goes hand in hand.
So then how do you think we set ourselves up for a realistic New Year's resolution?
In the context of powerlifting,
It could be anything. Anything health related, I guess. Maybe leave, personal life, financial stuff, leave that to the side. Think about like
health,
whether it's like
steps
a body
or-
weight goal or like a
yeah,
fitness goal or like a strength goal, like something more in our realm.
I think for me, this is coming from more just like a personal sort of experience or standpoint, but what helps me orientate myself or like helps me set goals is by talking to someone about them. Whether it be my coach or whether it be my partner or whether it be you or John or whatever. I think what helps me a lot is talking through it, because for me, I'm someone who, in order to process my thoughts and my feelings, like I need to talk to someone about it or at least write it down. So I guess like if you do have a goal in mind, it could be really useful to just voice it and let someone know and run it through them, right? And from there, like get their opinion. What do you think? Obviously, talk to someone who's going to support you and not not shit on you. But what do you think about this goal? How do you think like I could get there? And just brainstorm. Another really useful thing that I mentioned was writing it down. Writing it down, and from there, I guess developing some sort of flowchart or some sort of like step-by-step guide on like how you could actually get there, and splitting it up into micro goals and going from there, I think is a really, really good way. I've never been huge on like vision boards and stuff, but I think writing it down, even on my phone, like my notes app on my phone, or just writing it down on a piece of paper and just like putting it somewhere on my table, can help a lot. If in the context of powerlifting, definitely talk to your coach about it. Like if you have a sudden urge of motivation and you really want to compete this year, for example, or you really want to focus on bench this year, using bench as the example, then definitely communicate to your coach and say, hey, like, how are we going to get there? Obviously, as a powerlifting athlete, you're not going to have all the answers. So by speaking to your coach, I think is a really, really useful way to brainstorm and focus on those micro level goals that you can keep ticking off session by session to help you get to those macro level goals.
Yeah, totally. Like that's something that I'm doing this year. One of my goals for 2025 is to take my supplements every day. And it's literally fish oil, creatine, and then this MSM powder, which is going to help with
What's MSM powder?
It's going to help with my potential like bone issues that I have with my shoulder. That's one of the issues.
Oh, really?
That's one of the issues that I have with my shoulder is like
Right.
degradation of the bone.
I see.
That's
I didn't know that.
That's what causes a lot of the pain. It's called edema.
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 A demon.
I wish I was a bench demon. Yeah, so that's something that Claudia recommended. I take fish oil and MSM powder.
All right. What's MSM stand for? Do you know?
I'm actually not sure. One of the M's is magnesium, but I don't know what the other
Is it just a tablet?
It's powder, so it's like actually
powder.
quite a big serving.
Interesting.
So that's one of my goals for 2025 is to take my subs every day. Like I've had periods of time where I've taken creatine and then I do it for like 5 days and then I miss
everyone
one day,
goes through that.
miss one day and then I don't take it for 5 months.
Yeah.
Like I actually went to start taking creatine recently. I checked the cupboard, the creatine I had, and it was expired. That's how long it's been in there for.
Yeah.
So I went to Mr. Vitamin, I got my MSM powder, I got my fish oils, I got my creatine, and then I added it into my nutrition sheet, added another column, just a tick box, sups. End of every day, I check my nutrition sheet, I haven't ticked it off yet, bang, take my sups, tick it off. So for me, like that's, I'm quite an objective person when it comes to stuff like that. Like ticking stuff off for me works really well.
Spreadsheet kind of guy.
I'm a spreadsheet kind of guy.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm working at home, like I will write out a list of stuff that I need to do.
Yeah.
And when I'm finished task, I cross it off.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of how my,
your brain
that, like,
works like that.
satisfies my brain or whatever. So yeah, exactly right.
Say
like
for example, though, you didn't have that nutrition sheet, right? Would you set yourself...
Probably make a spreadsheet just so I could tick it off, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because what I was thinking is like, what I like to think about in that situation is like setting yourself up for success or making it as easy as possible to achieve that goal. For me, like if I was in that situation, I would literally put those supplements like somewhere where I'm constantly contacting, whether it be like my bedside table or every morning, like I grab the keys out of this bowl or something and then my subs are right there, making it as easy as possible to like tick off those micro goals that we've been talking about.
Yeah, something that I have been doing actually is putting the creatine and MSM powder into my shaker cup the night before.
Yeah, there you go.
And then it's just there in the fridge in the morning.
Makes it easier.
When I get up and feed the dogs, I just drink that while I'm doing the morning.
Sprinkle some of the dogs.
Doing the morning chores.
Give them some...
Yeah, give the dogs some creatine. They don't need any more dog in them.
But yeah, I think another thing with achieving goals, not just New Year resolutions, but goals in general, is the easier it is for you to do, like you're going to want to do it because this is easy, right? So if you do have these micro level goals, supplements or doing steps, for example, like scheduling doing steps in your day, or having your shoes out ready the night before, ready for you to take those steps in the morning. Really, really easy way to get those goals ticked off.
So I guess that comes to the next question, which is where do most people fail, do you think, with New Year's resolutions?
Yeah, I think we touched on this earlier, where they think a lot about the macro, right? And they think about the... Alex is asking for...
Can I have some water, please, Chris?
For some water. Alex is asking for some water. Can I have some water, please?
Usually I have my own bottle.
See, just bottle. Oh man, it was so close to spilling all over you. So back to your question about where.
Sorry, I was hoping that you would just continue like professional podcaster and just continue
curious
talking.
as to what was going on here. I thought that you... Anyway, do you want to ask that question again?
Yeah, let's just cut all that out. Chris, do your job and cut it out. Yeah, where do you think most people go wrong with setting New Year's resolutions? So we spoke about what people can do well.
Yes.
Where do people go wrong?
Yeah, so I think when it comes to where people fail, let's not say fail. Fail is a sad word.
Well, they kind of set themselves up to fail or to struggle.
To struggle hitting these goals is, number one, thinking too much about the macro and not trying to understand the micro, not trying to figure out like what do I actually need to do to get to where I want to be, right?
I think it's even earlier than that in my mind. It's like the goal's too big.
Oh yeah, set realistic goals
for
to
most
begin
people.
with,
Like it's like, okay, what you'll see is like, you know, someone who barely trains, who eats a lot of takeout, doesn't cook a lot at home, like isn't prepared with their food, doesn't sleep well, and they go, all right, I'm gonna sleep 8 hours a night. I'm gonna limit my carb intake to 100 grams a day.
I want to train 6 times a week.
And I'm going to train 5 days a week.
Yep.
And it's like, whoa, let's pump the brakes.
Yeah.
So I think the first thing is recognizing where you are and what you're currently doing.
Awareness.
And then what are some of the things that you can improve?
Yeah.
And then make those things that you can improve the goal.
Yeah.
Like if you identify, hey, my sleep isn't good.
Yeah.
You might say, cool, I want to get minimum of 7 hours of sleep every day, or at least 6 days a week or something. Set yourself some sort of objective goal that you can tick off. Bless you.
Sorry.
So I think that's part of the thing is like where people go wrong is that they don't identify where they're at.
Yeah.
And they set some goal that's super outlandish or like way too difficult to stick to.
This honestly happens so often with my clients where like I onboard a new client, I ask them like, oh, how many steps are you doing? And they're like, 2 to 3, but I'll do 10 from next week. And I'm like, bro, 10,000 steps versus 2,000 is a lot. Like
do 5,000.
It's a lot more.
Yeah,
so let's just start with like 4,000 first, and we can build from there.
You get this a lot with new clients because, like we said before, like leaning into motivation is super useful.
Yeah.
When someone's motivated to train a lot,
yeah,
and to do something difficult or do something they're not used to, they want to just get after it.
Yeah.
But then they don't think about what that looks like in a few blocks time.
Yeah.
So like, you get a new client, they currently train twice a week, or maybe they've never been on a program before and bang, they want to do 5 training days. And you're like, let's start with 3.
Yeah.
Like show me that you can do 3 for like 3 blocks in a row. And then maybe we can look at going to 4.
Or like same sort of thing where like they really want to build their bench, but they're benching once a week. They're like, oh, I can do 4. And we're like, whoa, first of all, like,
let's do 2.
You're not going to handle that.
Yeah.
But start. There's nothing wrong with starting small, taking smaller steps to then get to where you want to be, which I guess still goes back to what we're talking about the macro versus the micro, right? Just focusing on the micro, slowly, taking smaller steps to hit what's achievable and then building from there, I think is really important.
Yep.
Yeah.
So carrying on from that, do you have any New Year's resolutions this year, Kelv?
Do I have any? I was thinking about this in the car today. It isn't really as like powerlifting athlete focused. It's more just like lifestyle focused. It's a very loose sort of like goal, but I do plan to sort of like focus on the micro as I was talking about. But the macro goal is to develop better balance between work and my free time, because obviously as an online coach, as a sole trader, we put a lot of energy into our own businesses because, I mean, for me, I think like my energy and time equals outcome, equals some sort of result, right? And so if I want to build my business, I have to put energy and I have to put time into it. So over the past few years, on the weekends, whenever I had free time at night, for example, I would constantly be working my business, trying to, record content, create content, reply to clients. Like I wouldn't be strict with my own boundaries for what I've set myself. And so because of that, like over the past few months and years, I've realized that I haven't really given myself time to just do my own thing. And because of that, I feel like that's caused me to stagnate in my own personal development as just a person, as a human, right? And so my focus for this year is to be stricter with my boundaries with work, respect my own time better, by giving myself free time and to just do nothing. I have nothing planned and just do what I feel like doing in that present moment.
Does that look like getting a second hobby away from powerlifting, or like
It could possibly
learning how to play chess, or learning another language, or like going to a book club or something like that, or like...
I think so. Like, I definitely don't. The thing for me is like, if I start something, I almost instantly like want to be good at it, and I'm on a pursuit of wanting to be good at something. So if I do start another hobby, I feel like it's gonna become so goal oriented again that I'm just gonna be like, man, I'm putting too much energy into this now.
So you need to find something that's just only fun.
That's so freaking chill.
What does that look like though?
So when I was traveling, when I was like on the train, on the plane, I was playing, my partner had a Nintendo Switch Lite that she doesn't use anymore. And she was like, yeah, you go play. And I actually like played quite a lot of Zelda. And it was just so fun. It's so fun. And I felt like I was doing something in my time that was like kind of productive, because it's like, it's a game that you sort of play.
Yeah, like progressing in missions.
Yeah, you're still progressing,
stuff.
right?
Yeah.
And that was just like, I'm just doing my own thing. I'm exploring this little world and this little fucking machine. And that just felt so nice to like do something that wasn't work related or like goal orientated or, something serious.
Yeah, I know what you mean in like the sense of almost always feeling like you're working. Because like it can be so easy when you have nothing to do.
It's just replying to clients,
like,
right?
Oh, like this client just messaged me, I'll just check in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like and I still find it really difficult to not reply straight away.
Yeah.
Even being as busy as I am and stuff like that. So I totally feel you there. What are you gonna do then for that? Like, are you gonna set office hours where you reply during?
Yeah. Well, I kind of already mentally I've set them. But I just have to like actually, and I've also communicated that to my clients, but I just have to actually do it myself.
So will you set like a schedule, like, hey, I'm working for this 3 hours, and then for the next 3 hours I'm playing Zelda? Like, is that what you're going to put in calendar?
So pretty much like the way it would work for me is between the hours of like 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. is when I'm doing work. So that might be in the form of check-ins, that might be in the form of programming, depending on like what the priority is for that day. But after 5 is when I mentally clock out. That's my rule. Like after 5 is when I don't do any work unless it's like really, really urgent. Unless like
someone's competing.
Yeah, someone's competing. I have to update a program that they need. That's sort of my rule. Like after 5 p.m., I'm going to clock out. I'm going to go train. And at night, like a really bad habit that I got into was I was like, I can get a head start on my check-ins tomorrow. So what I'll do is I'll get into bed and I'll reply to clients, which is just like, I'm like, I was just thinking to myself, like, why am I doing this when I can just do this tomorrow when I've scheduled time, right? So the rule is like when I'm in bed watching something or playing Zelda or something, or just not working.
Do you schedule your training as well? Like, is it in your diary as a non-negotiable?
Yes. Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's something that I've done only recently. Prior to that, it'd be like if someone wanted to book a session in, I'd be happy to cut into my own training time, and like then I end up being the one that misses out.
Yeah,
and that's obviously not good for you know, your mental health and
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I didn't really realize how much it was impacting my mental health until recently, where like I started to become more aware of how I felt, of my thoughts, my emotions, and I just realized like I didn't really see it as not respecting myself. I'll explain that later, but basically the way I saw it was like, oh, I'm putting energy into my business, like I'm building my future, right? I'm trying to build my business, I'm trying to build my future. So, you know, putting this energy is worthwhile. It's worth my time. But the way I see it now is like by not giving myself the time to work on myself, to do my own things, to just like find enjoyment in doing my own things, I'm not respecting my own time. And I wouldn't do it to anyone else. Like I feel bad when I take up someone else's time. So why do I have no hesitation to take up my own time working when I wouldn't do it to anyone else?
Yeah, I've had this conversation with a client who is always late for training.
Right.
She's like literally always 5 to 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
And it's usually closer to 15 every time. And I always have a client straight after her. So I can't just like move the time back.
Yeah.
Like she then gets a shortened session.
Yep.
And I've said to her, like, you need to respect your own time because you're losing out on this. Isn't like I'm just gonna wait for you and we'll start the session when you arrive.
And it's not like she pays you less.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm getting less money. It's not like we start the session when she arrives and then we get that time that she's missed. Additionally, if she arrives 8 minutes late, she gets a 52-minute session. If she arrives 12 minutes late, she gets a 48-minute session. That is like 100% her not respecting her own time. And like he's always like, oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. I'm like, you shouldn't be apologizing to me. You should be apologizing to you because you're the one who's missing out here.
Yeah.
And I think
Absolutely.
that's when you frame it like that and like, why would I be okay with cutting into my own time? How does that mean that I feel about my own time or my own schedule or my own goals or
even my own self
or my own mental health or my own playing Zelda?
Yeah.
Yeah, like if someone cuts into me watching the Houston Rockets game, I'm going to be annoyed. Like I want to watch the game.
Yeah.
But yeah. So do you think you had that revelation while you were traveling? When you had a bit more time to yourself and you were like,
Yes.
oh, this is really nice?
Absolutely. There was this moment when I was in Taiwan and I was on a high speed rail train, high speed bullet train. And we were passing this, like there were heaps of farms. It was just like really rural, heaps of farms, and the sun was setting and it was so fucking picturesque, right? And I was just looking out the window and I saw a group of teenagers or young adults, maybe my age or younger, playing volleyball on this random court outside close to a school. And I just thought to myself, like, man, like how nice would it be to play volleyball with my mates as the sun was setting for no particular reason except for just fun. And that really hit me. I basically thought to myself, it was a 3-hour train ride, so I had a lot of time to think. I thought to myself, like, why can't I have that life? Why can't I just do that? And I realized that a lot of it was because I was putting this energy into my business, thinking that it would help me build my business more, when in fact I was just not putting myself first, at the expense of trying to build this business when I could just do it in the times that I've already allocated to it. So yeah, definitely became a revelation.
That's the one.
Revelation when I was traveling and I had more free time. I had time to myself and I was exploring. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that brings up like another discussion about like you're not able to give yourself fully to your business or to, in my case, your kids or, you know, your wife, your partner, whatever. You're not able to fully give yourself to that other situation if you haven't satisfied yourself first. And like for us, that might mean, you know, hobby time.
Yep.
For you playing a game, or for me, like watching the Rockets or whatever.
Yeah.
But it also might mean like our training.
Yeah.
Like I am not going to be not able to coach to the best of my abilities. I'm not able to be the best dad to my abilities, best husband, etc. If I'm not able to have the time to myself to like recharge my batteries, do the thing for myself, and then I can flip into that other mode.
Yeah.
I think that's like so underrated.
Yeah.
It's like having that time to yourself so that you can then give the time back to other things.
Yeah, what I realized at the end of last year upon reflection was that all these times that I was like not really feeling it in terms of training or not really being present in my relationship and not really being present as a son to my parents was because I wasn't putting myself first. It wasn't because of them. They were doing nothing wrong. My partner wasn't upsetting me, but I was just like, why am I upset? Why am I just not happy? And a big reason was because I just wasn't looking after myself.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
You've got to fill up your own cup before you can give to others.
Which is so, like you said, so underrated. And it's only occurred to me now after all these years of trying to put energy into a business or trying to put energy into supposedly myself, right? Because this business is me, which I think is what causes like such blurred lines. This business is so much of me that I thought that constantly putting energy during my free time into this business was helping me develop, when in fact I just needed time to myself to do nothing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Kelvin the coach Kelvin the business owner and the coach is different to Kelvin the trainee, or Kelvin the guy, or Kelvin the partner.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those things are actually separate. And although you are a sole trader and you run your own business, that doesn't mean that your business is then the same as your personal life. You know what I mean?
It shouldn't be like that.
You need to be able to split those things apart.
And it wasn't like that for a while.
Yeah.
Especially when I first started online coaching, and only very recently have I been able to establish these boundaries, and I'm still working on it now.
But I think everyone goes through that because they think like, okay, I've only got this finite amount of clients that I work with. Like I need to do the best job possible. I need to be there for them the whole time. And you can't scale that way.
No.
And you're going to always be working.
Yeah.
But also you're always working and you've only got this small amount of work.
Yeah.
Like you could do all of this work in 1/10 of the time if you just allocated the time.
Yeah. And I think that there have been many times when I just felt a sense of being overwhelmed, and I didn't really understand why. I just constantly felt like I was overwhelmed. I was sort of just not happy. And a big reason was because I just wasn't giving myself time to do nothing, and I let work consume me, and it did impact my mental health. So that's my New Year resolution, to really focus on my mental health and focus on myself. I'm still trying to frame it in a way where it's not at the expense of my business, at the expense of work.
But honestly, it won't be, because you'll be so much more refreshed,
more present,
and happy and present.
Yeah.
But also, like, when you're, like we said, when you're like filling your free time with more work, you're like only making yourself more tired.
Yeah.
And you're not giving yourself space from the work.
That's a sense of overwork, like sense of being overwhelmed all the time.
Yeah. But you're also not giving yourself space from it.
Yeah.
If you give yourself space from something, it allows like thoughts to gather in the background, and 100%. Then you go and attack it, and you're like sharp as attack, and you're your responses are so much better.
Yeah.
And I always find that's the case. We'll check in with you in a few podcast time and see how it's going for you.
I will try my best to work on it, and we'll see how we go. So that's mine. Do you have a New Year's resolution besides taking your subs?
Well, I wouldn't really call it a New Year's resolution, but I am going back to the 83 kilo class. Have I spoken to you about this?
You have.
I
yes.
have.
I thought you were joking.
I wasn't sure if I'd spoken to you about this. I was not joking.
I thought you were actually joking.
I was not joking. So I started powerlifting as a 74, just like you did. Mm-hmm. I did like 18 months as a 74. I went up to 83. I did like 5 or 6 years as 83 before I went up to 93. Mm-hmm. And since going up, I have never really felt comfortable, like truly comfortable.
As in comfortable in your own skin kind of thing, or comfortable lifting, leverages wise kind of thing because of the extra weight? Honestly,
all of it.
Okay, like, all of the above.
How I look and how I
think you look fine, Alex.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate that. But yeah, like how I look, how I like fit into my clothes, how I like you said, leverages when I lift, particularly with deadlift.
Yeah.
Squat less so, deadlift the most. Like I feel like my deadlift was actually better when I was lighter.
as in like tech wise, efficiency wise?
Yeah, like all of the above.
Okay.
And it took me actually a long time since deciding to go up to the 93 to get my deadlift back to where it was as an 83.
Okay.
So like it took me like a couple of years of being a 93 to
So
deadlift the same.
Were you close to 83 when you were close to 300, pulling 300? Or
I
were you
did 285 at 83
Yeah.
in 2021.
And your last comp, you pulled 282
I
or
missed
something.
292 and a half.
292 and a half.
So like I've kind of been around the same mark for deadlift. I obviously did 300 in training,
Yeah.
but like training, whatever. But yeah, I always felt really nice deadlifting when I was lighter. Squats, I definitely feel better or stronger now than
Yeah,
I did.
of course.
But I think that's also just like 5 extra years of training.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am no longer like, I no longer have a goal of being nationally competitive because like the talent in Australia is just so crazy.
Okay.
And like the time that I have to allocate to training and diet
It's
and
very
all
different
that kind
to
of
what
stuff.
it was
It's just
5 years ago.
It is very different to what it was. That like it doesn't really bother me if I get a little bit weaker or if I am, ranked lower in either class. Like I'm not going to be in the top 5 in either, regardless. So that's not really too much of it for me. I've seen like so many lifters who have gone to Sheffield who are way, way, way stronger and leaner than I am, cut a whole weight class and lose very little off their total at all.
Insane.
So like, why can't I do that also? And
But they
like,
built different though.
I'm actually,
Do you think you built different?
I'm somewhat built different. Built slightly different. I also think that like my lifestyle before when I was an 83 was not conducive to cutting weight.
Okay.
Because like I wasn't married yet. I would go out a lot. I would eat out a lot. My weekends were like very heavy on drinking and very not heavy on recovery and very like very caloric adventures a lot of the times.
Caloric adventures.
And like my life now is just so routine and stringent and like every hour is accounted for just about. That I actually think it will be a lot easier for me to maintain my weight now. My current lifestyle.
Just eat a bit less.
Like honestly, because like I would diet for comps to make to 83 back in the day, and it would be like going well Monday to Friday, and then I'm having
Saturday, Sunday
30 beers on the weekend, and then like pizza for recovery on Sunday, and like just wasn't, my lifestyle wasn't conducive to what my goals were back then. And I actually think my lifestyle is more conducive to.
It's raining.
It's raining. I actually think my lifestyle is more conducive to those kind of goals now than it was. So that's another factor. I did have one more reason. Oh, yeah. The other reason is like I'm actually just kind of keen to do something hard. And
what do you mean hard? Oh, so you think cutting weight will be difficult?
Well, like I've got to lose 9 kilos or like 8 or 9 kilos to get within, cutting distance of 83. I started the diet 94 and a half.
Have you started then?
Yeah,
I've started cutting.
I'm like a week and a half in.
Okay. How is it so far?
It's been fine so far. Like the start of the diet's always easy. But yeah, like I think, I don't know, I'm just keen to do something hard and challenge myself and
different,
get out of my comfort zone a little bit. And yeah.
Are you changing training in any way, or training is the same?
Training will probably only have to change if like we encounter road bumps along the way that will require it to.
Do you think the shoulder will get more shitty as you get lighter though?
That's the only concern that I have. But like I benched almost as much as I did at 93 as an 83 anyway. Because like since going up was when my shoulder flared up initially.
So maybe it's the additional weight that's causing
I really don't think that's the case. So we'll have to see about the shoulder. That's like the only issue that I'm foreseeing is like just less recovery. And lower body weight. But my bench is like not strong enough for it to be like I'm definitely going to lose weight like off my bench, because I don't think I reached my ceiling as an 83 for any of my lifts anyway. That like I think I can eventually, once my shoulders are healthy, bench what I did at 93 as an 83.
So why do you think that going up didn't really like see? Because there are some cases when people go up weight class, like for me, for example, where I went from 74 to 83, and I just like kind of blew up a little, right?
Well, like my best total at 83 was 672, and I did 710. So like 40 kilos. So like that's not nothing.
Yeah, it is
But
not nothing.
also you got to remember, like, you went up from 74 to 83 like 3 years into training.
That's true.
Whereas for me, it was like 10 years into training.
Yeah.
So like
those gains were probably there already.
The amount
so
to gain that I had at that point was less than what you had.
That's true.
But
That's
also, like, I had 2 kids. I got married. I went traveling. I did a whole bunch of stuff that was definitely not conducive to getting stronger either.
Yeah.
And I think now that, like, my life is settled a little bit, and like my kids are like walking, they're at daycare, and like they're
sentient.
They don't need to be carried the whole time.
Yeah.
You know, and my lifestyle is just so locked in, and like, you know, I don't go out
Routine.
anymore. I don't drink anymore. That I actually think, it's good timing.
No,
So
I think that's great.
That's my big spiel about going down to 83s.
I look forward to.
Probably in about 6 episodes time, I'll be like, no, fuck it, I'm not going down anymore.
I'm going back up.
I'm hungry. Going to 105s.
Are you still having your, what is it, Friday nights takeout?
Yeah, so we do Friday and Sunday at the moment.
Friday and Sunday.
Well, we've always done Friday and Sunday.
Okay, cool.
We're going to keep Friday in, and we're going to get rid of Sunday.
Oofed. So
which is fine.
Chris is going to cut it Sunday as well.
Well, she can do whatever she likes. Like, if she wants to get takeout, she can.
Okay.
But I'll just have something that I've prepped. Or, something that I've cooked for myself.
I see.
Which is kind of boring. But I think, like, you know, when you have particular goals that, like, it's quite a big lifestyle shift. Dropping, you know, the weight classes are 10 kilos apart.
Yeah.
You know, like, I was only just above 93. Like, I wasn't like a full 93 doing like a big cuts to make it.
Yep.
So it's not as big as dropping actually 10 kilos, but it's still a big change.
Still a lot.
In lifestyle and in everything like that, that like it will require some sacrifice and some changes to.
Do you have a time frame for it?
So I'd like to compete like sort of between August and October this year.
Just so like 7-8 months ish.
But I don't know if that will be at 83. Like I would like for it to be at 83, but we'll have to see with how the diet goes. The plan was to get to 90 by nationals.
Yep.
Which is probably
it's like 4 weeks.
It's like 4.5 weeks. Maybe not going to happen, but like we'll probably get close.
Yeah.
And do a bit of a diet break at nationals. So that would be like 7 or 8 weeks of dieting.
Yeah.
And
are you working with someone for your nutrition?
Yeah. So still working with Shania.
Okay. Nice.
So yeah, plan was to diet up until Open Nats, go to Perth, diet break, and then probably the week that I get back, diet break that week, and then continue on. So ideally, like, you know, if I get to 91 by nationals, then I can cut again and get to 87, and then I'm pretty close. So yeah, I guess we're kind of like breaking it into 2 time periods.
Yeah,
it might end up being broken into 3, depending on how I go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I think that is very reflective on what we were talking about before about breaking up that macro into micro achievable goals. Like cutting 10 kilos is a lot, but if we can break it down to, like, say, for example, 93 to 90, 90 to 87, like you said, 87 to 85, in realistic timeframes, that makes so much more sense than going, I want to lose 10 kilos this year, but like no plan whatsoever to back it. Yeah.
And something that I said earlier about like harnessing those periods of high motivation, I said to Shania, like, I'm motivated now. So like I would prefer to push this period harder now.
Yeah.
While that spark is there.
Yep.
So I think she probably would have been a bit more conservative with my calories had I not said that.
Yep. Nice.
But like I'm perfectly okay with like suffering a little bit more now while motivation is high.
Yeah.
So
and that ties into what we were saying before about communication, right? Communicating your goals and communicating what you think or what you want to achieve so that, you know, your coach can work with you to help you get to that point. Yeah.
Right, I think we've covered New Year's resolutions quite well.
Happy New Year, everybody.
We're going to do, good luck everyone out there with your resolutions and your goals and all that kind of stuff. If you need any help, reach out to Kelvin and I.
Reach out to us.
We can help you out. we're gonna do a bit of Sheffield talk because Sheffield's coming up this weekend.
It is this
and
weekend.
If Chris gets this podcast out on Friday, which hopefully he can, Chris. Yeah, easy. Okay, cool. Then we can have our picks before we go live, and we've done very little research on this. Last year I did a full preview show with Rory and Jason. We did like 3-hour preview show. On
that's
Sheffield.
not happening again this year.
But to be honest, I was just the host, and they were the ones giving all of the information.
So it's the same thing, except I also don't have a lot of the information.
So I've done like I've done a little bit of research into this. So I'm gonna pick our podium. Well, I'm gonna pick my podium.
Okay. Should we do some sort of context to Sheffield at all for those who...
No.
You should know.
If you don't know what Sheffield is, Google it.
Go search it up.
Sheffield Powerlifting Championships.
Actually, can we start with like, before we talk about podium,
Sure.
talk about who you're excited to see?
Yeah, sure.
Or does that include your podium?
Well, the podium is like who's actually going to win based on the scoring.
So who are you excited to see compete then?
Who am I excited to see? Evie.
Okay.
Firstly,
Why is
because she's the only one I've actually met.
Okay.
So
there's a personal connection.
She sat down on that couch.
Right here. Her
we did a
butt cheeks
podcast.
were on this couch.
They were. We did a podcast. She's like just a lovely person.
Yep.
So down to earth and nice and lovely. And yeah, she trained here, and she was just like so nice to everyone who was coming up to her and fangirling her.
That she's not on your podium pick.
She actually is on my podium, but
she
we'll get
is?
to that.
Really?
We'll get to that. But yeah, I'm really excited to watch her lift because I followed her closely because obviously Jason used to train here, and obviously he came on the podcast a bunch of times. And since then I started following her closely because a lot of the conversations that we had were centered around her. And
what's the training look like?
I follow her. She's looking super strong. She's looking like a chance to break the squat and deadlift records and total records.
Yep.
I think she'll go another 3 to 5% above her own world record. And she left a little bit in the tank at Worlds because all she needed to do was do 95% plus win the world goal to get her Sheffield invite. So she didn't take her last deadlift.
Yep.
And the previous Sheffield, she missed her last deadlift.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of meat on the bone there. And if she comes in and has a really, really good 9 for 9 day, which she very, very often does, then I think she'll be a really strong contender to win. And she's just like super cool because she's so chill.
Yeah.
She comes out and she's like not at all like the stereotypical powerlifter.
No.
She doesn't even listen to music in the warm-up area. She's just chatting. Like she's like a social thing for her.
She's like an amateur. She
tries to make it like she says that she tries to make it like a training session when she's competing. So she just like makes friends and really excited to watch her. Really excited to watch Sonita squat because she's got a 311 at Worlds, which was 10 kilos up on the 301 that she did at Sheffield. So, yeah, I mean,
it's insane
to think that we have women squatting 300 plus this quickly after, like 275 a few years ago was like the world record. It's crazy, and I'm really keen to watch her. Like, I think in general, the best spectacle in powerlifting is big squats because like it's just like holy fuck.
Yeah, that weight on your fucking back.
It's just like the best thing to actually watch is huge squats. So I'm really excited to see Sonita and really excited to see Jesus squat.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the other thing that I'm really excited for is the 83 battle.
Oh, I was gonna say that. That was my answer, man. That's gonna be my answer.
Yeah, you stole all my answers with the New Year's resolution stuff, so I'm just getting you back. Ade and Russ and Endurance.
Yes,
the three of them. Obviously, Tim Monagatti had to pull out for
yes.
injury, which is disappointing because, man, he was looking so strong.
Yeah.
But yeah, the 83 battle will be awesome. They're really, really close, and it will be like a bit of a preview for Worlds. And yeah, obviously there's a bit more on the line with how much prize money there is.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see like who goes for the individual records versus who goes for like the biggest total score.
And also like Russ losing at Worlds, I feel like he's got a lot to sort of like try, a lot of redemption. I feel a big feeling of redemption to try show everyone that he's still the best 83 when, I mean, last Worlds proved that he's not potentially. Yeah. Yeah.
And like since, he did 860 at USAPL Nationals, APA Nationals, he did 860 and then he wasn't able to beat that, or he did quite a bit less than that at Worlds and Durance was able to beat him.
Yep.
And since then, Ade's done I think he did 860, which is now the current world record. Joe Borenstein back in the US did 865. And now we've got all these 83s just like pushing each other.
Very crazy.
You know, I think that's probably the best weight class in terms of top end talent and depth. Like they've got both. Like there's so many guys in that same sort of zone that we've never seen before, but also there's like 5 or 6 of them.
And I think also Ade and Duran's coming from Great Britain and it being held at Sheffield, they're going to attract huge crowds. So I think that just the energy itself of the event for them will be really, really big.
Yeah, and I think as you mentioned, like with Russ, obviously, like he's kind of been the top dog for a while, and he was pushed off his perch.
And I think he's acting like the top dog as well, which
it definitely rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Like I think it was warranted because that's what the best athletes do.
Yeah.
In most sports is they like you know show you how good they are. But I think he actually got a little bit complacent, and he almost let Durans in and let someone in.
Yeah,
and
I can see that.
Now that he didn't do enough to win at Worlds, I think that was the kick up the arse that he needed.
Maybe.
And I think like, that should be enough to keep him sort of like working hard and like pushing himself again. Because it kind of seemed to me like he was kind of just like happy being at a certain level, and he wasn't really.
And
like,
it's kind of like, I'm the fucking best.
Yeah, he wasn't really like pushing the envelope as much as he could.
And he wasn't talking much about like, I'm gonna keep doing better and better. He wasn't really talking about it. He was just like, I'm the best.
Yeah.
Kind of vibe.
Yeah. And then the other one that I'm really excited for is his Agatha, who is just like probably the best powerlifter ever at this point, and she's like still in her early 20s.
She's young.
She owns she currently holds 31 world records
across all the age categories,
weight classes equipped.
What weight class is she doing
competing in 69 for Sheffield.
Okay.
So she has the total record, which is 600 kilos.
Insane.
She's actually my pick to win.
Oh, okay. There you go.
She's just fucking incredible, to be honest. And she just continues getting better. Powerlifting's her full-time job.
Yeah.
And she's just, she's incredible. She's, like I said, I think she's the best powerlifter ever.
She's paid to powerlift.
I don't know exactly. I'm pretty sure she's sponsored, and then she gets so much money for winning Sheffield and blah, 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 and she gets traveled all over the world to do her comps.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm annoyed about Sheffield is Bob Matthews not doing it.
Okay. Why does that annoy you?
So he did Worlds at 105 point something kilos.
Yeah.
As a 120.
Yes.
And he won by a lot.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he had the opportunity to cut to 105.
Yeah.
Barely cut.
0.5.
Like not eat breakfast and make it and potentially win.
Yeah.
Like, and he decided not to do it. I don't really understand why. I just think like it's disappointing. And I wish.
It's such a strange, like, why didn't he just.
I really wish that he took the invite and like committed to it and really pushed it. Because I think now, should we do our podiums, or are you going to tell me who you're excited to see?
I've got. I was going to say the 83 battle, and I was also going to say. Austin Perkins.
Oh yeah, Perkins. Yep.
Because number one, I've met him. I met him in the US at Lico HQ when I went there for bench welds, and his training lately has just looked like phenomenal. Like he looks really on. So I'm very, very keen to see him compete. And also, this is more just like a personal pick, but Kasim-san?
Yeah, Kasim-san. Yeah.
Kasim-san from Thailand. As the only Asian competitor, obviously being Asian myself, there is like, just like he's my boy, right? Like Asians got to support Asians, Asian homies. And I just want to see him do well. And I watched his Sheffield interview and comparing it to some of the other ones. Some of the other ones were like, I'm going to show everyone who's top dog. I'm going to beat this record. Like 80% of his interview was literally him saying like, I am so passionate about this sport. I just want to keep growing this sport in Thailand. Like I feel so honored to be here.
Did you see the reveal of the Thai singlet?
Oh,
because that was amazing. That was like sick. That's the best country singlet that's ever been released. Like I was so impressed by how cool that was.
But yeah, just the way he I guess like presents himself is just for me very respectable. Like I respect that a lot.
Every word I've heard about him is that he's like just the loveliest guy, which is really cool. So yeah, I'll be cheering for him as well.
But he's unfortunately not a pick for podium.
No, he's not on my podium. so my men's podium is first place Shell Backerland, obviously cutting to the 66.
Yes.
He was the previous record holder in the 74. Best total 8:15 at 74. Which is obviously so much higher than the 66 total,
Honestly,
which is why he decided to go down.
He looks so jacked already.
He's
at 74.
super short, so it's like it's possible.
If he's gonna cut to 66, that's gonna be like he's gonna be dick skin shredded.
Yeah, he's gonna be super shredded. But like he's got the luxury to lose so much on his total and still do huge
so well.
numbers. Like I think he'll probably go 6 or 7% over the record. Second, your boy Austin Perkins is who I have second.
Perks.
He left a lot of meat on the bone at Worlds.
Yep.
He obviously didn't need to do a lot to win. He just needed to keep Shell
He smoked it
at bay. And he's got, like you said just before, like his squat in particular is fucking crazy.
Dude. He's bench as well. He's close to 200.
He's benched over 200.
Yeah.
His deadlifts obviously like, I think there's a lot of room there as well. So if he has a really good day and if they pick really good attempts, he'll be hard to.
Who is he coached by?
He's coached by Joe Stanek.
Okay.
Who is actually coming to Sydney for a month after Sheffield.
Oh, really?
And
how do you know that?
He's going to come and train. I was talking to him a few weeks ago because he did a semester abroad here at UNSW.
While you were studying there as well?
No. He just came and trained at Lift where I was working because we knew each other because I worked with the strength athlete.
Yep.
And he was the intern for the strength athlete at the time.
Oh.
So like he hit me up and he's like, hey man, I'm coming to Sydney. I think I was the only strength athlete person in Sydney.
Yeah, right.
So he hit me up and then we met and hung out. He came to Top Lifter and like spotted and loaded with me at comps and he's trained with me a bit.
Mad.
And yeah, he's going to come and do similar here in a few weeks. So
so what's he doing in Sydney?
He coaches Yuki.
Oh, okay.
So he's coming to Nationals to coach at Nationals.
Oh, I see.
So he's going to stay here while he's in Sydney. In Australia. So he's going to be here for at least a few weeks.
Sweet.
So we'll get him on the potty.
So we'll see him in training.
Yeah, and we'll get him on the potty.
Nice.
No, he's a good dude. So Austin's my pick for second, and my pick for third is Ashton Brusker. He sandbagged pretty hard at Worlds and won by a lot, and I think he's got a lot of meat on the bone too. So I think he will be hard to beat. And then I think that 105 record has a lot of room to move.
Yeah.
And I think he'll be the one to move it. And then after that, I found it really difficult to pick like 4 through 10. Because I think a lot of those guys are going to be... I think a lot of them are going to break the world record, but it will be by small margins, that it will be like one mislift here or there, and they'll shuffle a lot in the standings. So, yeah, that's my pick for the podium for the men's. Women's, my pick for first is Agata.
Yep.
My pick for second is Sonita.
Yep.
Because she will have the opportunity to go last on deadlift, which means she'll be able to, put whatever she wants on the bar at the end. And then my pick for third is Evie.
Is who? Evie. Yeah.
Yeah. I think where Evie's disadvantage is that, other than who's the little French girl, Tiffany, she's going to be lifting first. Other than Tiffany, she's going to be lifting first before the other girls. So the other girls will see what she has and they'll be able to like run her down if possible. Yeah. Which is why I think Sonita will be able to run her down. I don't think anyone else will be able to run it down, so I've got her third.
2023, Jesus Olivares put on a really good performance, right? The first Sheffield. Was it 2023?
No, 2020. Sorry, yes, you're right.
Yeah,
2023. Yes, Jesus won, yes.
He's not in your podium anymore.
He's not because...
He's washed?
He's not washed. The world record is really high.
Yeah, like he set the bar really high for himself.
Yeah, he set the bar really high. So his world record is still that from the first Sheffield.
Yeah.
So it looks to me like his squat is a little bit less than what he's done. He did 478 at last year's Sheffield.
Yeah.
But he didn't deadlift. He didn't deadlift well.
From what I've seen, that last squat took so much out of him.
It did, but he also kind of messed up later in the comp. So he beat a rack command on bench.
Yes, he skipped the rack command.
Which I think was a 10 kilo jump, so he lost 10 kilos. And then he dropped his first deadlift.
Yeah.
So he retook it. And then they took a 40 something kilo jump to try and pull from 11th to first.
I don't. If so, say for example, you were his coach, right? After that first deadlift, after you dropped it, would you repeat the load or would you have gone up?
I would have had to have seen the score sheet to know.
Yeah.
I probably would have gone up to get him a little bit higher up in the leaderboard because every placing above 10th is additional money.
Yeah.
So like he was in 11th after his second deadlift because he repeated his opener. But if he did 20 kilos more or 25 kilos more, he may have been in 6th or something like that, which might have been the difference of like a few $1,000, which might have been worth it. But I think they were like, we win or we win or nothing. I think that was kind of their mindset. But I think
could you have not just taken a 20 kilo jump and then something else afterwards? Like,
yeah, I think when you're lifting that much weight and you're that big of a guy, like there's always a question of like how many goes at it do you have?
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Which like, I think you can just get fitter and get better, kind of not fitter, but like better game day fitness.
Yes.
Like repeat singles and stuff like that, being able to do
SBD
that.
days and shit.
Because Sheffield's obviously very fast because they pay the spotters and everything's quick and it's it's a spectacle. Like they don't fuck around.
Yeah.
So, and it's obviously deadlifts are the fastest lift because you don't change rack heights and stuff like that. So the turnaround time's pretty short. So it's hard to say. Like he probably would have won Sheffield last year if he got that third bench because he would have been deadlifting a lot less than he needed to.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I think because he set the bar so high for himself that, and also because Shell is coming down a weight class and attacking a weaker world record, and because Perk is so far above what the world record is, that it's going to be hard for Jesus to put 7% on his record because that's like
the margin is
heaps.
a
That's
lot
like
bigger.
80 kilos, right?
Yeah,
because his total's 1,080 or whatever it is. 1150, I think it is. So like, that much percent on that big of a total is so many kilos.
So do you think at that point the way that Sheffield's scored kind of disfavors bigger totals, bigger numbers?
No, because it's all relative, right?
That's true. It is still relative.
Like adding 5 kilos to a 150 kilo bench versus adding 5 kilos to a 250 kilo bench is not the same thing.
No, but what I'm saying is like for Jesus to add, say, 80 kilos to his current total, arguably that's going to take more effort than if someone was to beat the current record at like 83 or 74.
Well, you could do the maths on what it is. Like the record total in the 83 is 860. So 10% of 860 is 86. 10% of 1150 is 115. So like adding 86 kilos to the 83 record or 115 to the 120 plus, like I actually disagree with you entirely. I think that it is probably easier to break the super heavyweight records by a lot because the body weight's not an issue.
You can just keep adding body weight, you're saying? But then that comes at the risk of like fucking not fit enough to...
It does.
Not fit enough
to
actually
It does,
do
but
anything.
when you look at the difference between like the 120 record or the 84 record and then the super heavyweight record, it's a huge bump
it's
up.
big.
Because that body weight
like,
increases.
the squat fucking record is huge, right?
Yeah.
The difference.
So I think I don't have Jesus on the podium, but I think he'll be in the sort of 4 to 6 range, 4 to 7 range. Because obviously he'll be able to choose, he'll deadlift last, so he'll be able to choose the weight that he needs. And his deadlift's looking really, really strong. I don't think he'll squat the world record. I think he'll be like around 465, 470. And I haven't seen any of his bench. I was just looking through his page today and he hasn't posted any of his bench in a while, unless it's been on his stories and I've missed it. But yeah.
Cool.
What's your podium picks?
Honestly, like I wouldn't, like it wouldn't be much different to yours, but it'd be fucking awesome if Kasim San was on there, just for fucking.
Well, Shell's moving down to his class, so that makes it really hard for him.
But it would be cool if he was. But otherwise, like I'm looking on here, and honestly, I agree with your picks. Unless there's someone that we just completely didn't see and we're completely wrong. Yeah, I agree. What do you think about Panna?
What do I think about Panna?
Yeah, how about Panna?
I know why he got the wild card because obviously he's a draw.
Mm.
But I think there would have been better picks for the wild card.
Mm.
You know, for instance, the guy who holds the 93 kilo world record wasn't invited.
Mm-hmm.
Gavin Avon. Gavin Avon. Wow.
Gaden Avon.
Gavin Avon.
Adam.
Who, like, obviously he's polarizing guy. A lot of people don't like him.
Yes.
You know, I'm neutral on him. Like, I don't love him.
opinions.
I don't hate him. Yeah, he's very out there. He's a very out there character. I think more people like Panna than they do Gavin. I think there's also, like, the reserves have often been, the wild cards have often been people who are close to England as well.
So it costs less to send them there.
Perhaps it costs less. But I understand why they brought Panna in. I don't think with Shell there that he stands really any chance of.
Is his name pronounced Shell?
Yeah.
It's actually Shell?
Yeah, Shell.
Kajo?
Shell.
Kajo?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I mean, whatever, Panna. I mean, he does good grinds, I guess. That's
He's
probably
got a lot of hype around him because of the way he lives.
He does, but he also, like, apparently is like a fucking rock star in France. Like, apparently they absolutely love him. Like,
Really?
Like, they will line up. Like, if he competes, they'll line up to get his signature or talk to him or get a photo with him. Like, they'll have a line of people to talk to him. Yeah, apparently he's just like a superhero in France.
Wow. As a powerlifter.
Yeah.
Fuck. You'd
Crazy.
not get that shit in Australia.
All right. That's it for today.
I think we've spoken more
Episode
than enough.
42, Lift Talk in the books. We'll
I hope you guys
get another one next week.
entertained.
And
Another one next week.
yeah, we'll get another one in next week.
Do a Sheffield recap.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah. If we're right or not.
All right. Catch you later.
See you guys. Thanks for tuning in.